Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to physics class. Today, I would like to take two topics which are A. Young's modulus and B is related numerical part A. In last class, I had taught to you Hooke's law. What is Hooke's law? Hooke's law states that stress is directly proportional to strain, or stress divided by strain is a constant. This constant is the proportionality constant. It is also called elastic modulus. That is, elastic modulus is the ratio of stress to strain. Elastic modulus is a characteristic property of each material. That is, it will be varying from one material to another material, but it will be a constant value of different objects of same material. For example, gold has a specific value of elastic modulus and rubber has another specific value of elastic modulus. What are the different types of elastic modulus? There are three types. First one, Young's modulus. Second one, shear modulus. And third one, bulk modulus. First, I am going to discuss on Young's modulus of a material. The term Young's modulus is named after the British scientist Thomas Young, who defined it. It is a measure of ability of a material to withstand change in its length when tension or compression is given to it. That is, it is the ratio of longitudinal stress to longitudinal strain. It is represented by the letter Y. How can I express it mathematically? It can be written as Young's modulus Y is equal to longitudinal stress divided by longitudinal strain. The longitudinal stress is represented by sigma and the longitudinal strain is denoted by epsilon. Then Young's modulus Y is equal to sigma divided by epsilon is equal to F by A whole divided by delta L by L, which is equal to FL divided by A delta L. If it says Young's modulus of a material is comparatively more, it means that it requires more force to produce a small change in its length. That is, it has more capability to resist or withstand the change in its length by this force. When more external force is required to produce the small change in its length, it has more restoring force. What is the SI unit of Young's modulus? It is Newton per meter square or Pascal. 1 Newton per meter square is equal to 1 Pascal. Metals have comparatively greater Young's modulus. Then they need greater force to change their length. What is the name of device used for measuring the Young's modulus of a given metallic wire? The apparatus is Searles apparatus. And Young's modulus of material of a metal wire. The experimental setup is shown in given figure. It consists of two long straight wires of same length and equal radius suspended side by side from a fixed rigid support. The wire A, which is called the reference wire, carries a millimeter main scale M and a pan to place a weight. The wire B, which is called the experimental wire of uniform area of cross-section, also carries a pan in which non-weights can be placed. See the figure again. You can notice a vernier scale which is attached to a pointer at the bottom of the experimental wire B, and the main scale M is fixed to the reference wire A. The weights placed in the pan exert a downward force and stretch the experimental wire under a tensile stress. The elongation of the wire, it is the increase in its length, is measured by the vernier arrangement. What is the use of reference wire? It is used to compensate for any change in length of the experimental wire which may occur due to the change in room temperature, because there is equivalent change in length of the reference wire due to this temperature change. So, this will not affect the experimental result. Both the reference and experimental wires are given an initial small load to keep the wires straight. Initially, you have to notice the vernier reading. Now, you have to add more weights to the experimental wire gradually to bring it under a tensile stress, and the corresponding vernier reading should be noticed. The difference between initial and final vernier readings gives the elongation or increase in the length of the experimental wire. Let R and L be the initial radius and length of the experimental wire respectively. Then the area of cross-section of the wire would be pi r square. Let M be the mass that produced an elongation delta L in the experimental wire. Here we have applied the external force to the experimental wire to increase its length. Let it be F, which is equal to M into G, where G be the acceleration due to gravity. Then, how can calculate the Young's modulus of the material of this experimental wire? It is equal to longitudinal stress divided by longitudinal strain is equal to sigma by epsilon is equal to F by A whole divided by delta L by L, as sigma be F by A and epsilon be delta L by L. You know that F is equal to mg and A is equal to pi r square. Then the expression becomes as y is equal to mg divided by pi r square whole divided by delta L by L is equal to mg by pi r square into L by delta L. Therefore, the Young's modulus y is equal to mg into L whole divided by pi r square into delta L. This expression helps to determine the Young's modulus of material of the given wire. Numerical part. Question number 1 is, a piece of copper having a rectangular cross-section of 15.2 millimeter into 19.1 millimeter is pulled in tension with 44,500 Newton forces, producing only elastic deformation. Calculate the resulting strain. Given modulus of elasticity of copper, K is equal to 42 into 10 the power of 9 Newton per meter square. Let us see its solution. Given that the length of the piece of copper L is equal to 19.1 millimeter, when it converts into meter is equal to 19.1 into 10 the power of minus 3 meter. Since 1 millimeter is equal to 10 the power of minus 3 meter. Breadth of the piece of copper B is equal to 15.2 millimeter is equal to 15.2 into 10 the power of minus 3 meter. And tension force applied on the piece of copper F is equal to 44,500 Newton. Then what should be the area of the copper piece? A is equal to length into breadth is equal to 19.1 into 10 the power of minus 3 into 15.2 into 10 the power of minus 3 is equal to 2.9 into 10 the power of minus 4 meter square. You know that modulus of elasticity K is equal to stress by strain by Hooke's law. Then K is equal to F by A whole divided by strain. So strain is equal to F by A K. By substituting the values of F, A and K, we get the strain is equal to 3.65 into 10 the power of minus 3. It is unitless. Second question is, four identical hollow cylindrical columns of mild steel support a big structure of mass 50,000 kg. The inner and outer radii of each column are 30 cm. Find the longitudinal strain of each column given Young's modulus of steel Y is equal to 2 into 10 the power of 11 Pascal. What is its solution? Given that mass of the big structure M is equal to 50,000 kg, inner radius of the column R is equal to 30 cm, converting into meter is equal to 0.3 meter, and outer radius of the column capital letter R is equal to 60 cm is equal to 0.6 meter. As these four cylindrical columns support the mass of 50,000 kg, then what should be the force exerted on them? It is equal to total mass into acceleration due to gravity is equal to m into g is equal to 50,000 kg into 9.8 Newton is equal to 4,90,000 Newton. Then what should be the force exerted on a single column? It is equal to total force exerted divided by number of columns is equal to 4,90,000 Newton divided by 4 is equal to 1,22,500 Newton. We have to calculate the longitudinal strain of each column. We know that Young's modulus Y is equal to stress by strain, in this case longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Then what is the longitudinal strain? It is equal to longitudinal stress divided by the Young's modulus Y is equal to F by A whole divided by Y is equal to F by A into Y. Here we have to calculate area of hollow cylindrical column A is equal to pi into capital R square minus R square is equal to pi into 0.6 square minus 0.3 square. Then strain is equal to 1,22,500 divided by pi into 0.6 whole square minus 0.3 square into 2 into 10 the power of 11 is equal to 7.22 into 10 the power of minus 7. Hence, the longitudinal strain of each column is equal to 7.22 into 10 the power of minus 7. Third question is, a copper wire of length 2.2 meter and a steel wire of length 1.6 meter, both of diameter 3.0 millimeter, are connected end to end. When stretched by a load, the elongation is found to be 0.70 millimeter. Obtain the load applied. Let us solve this question. As both copper and steel wires are having same area cross section, the load added to this combination produce the same tensile stress because they have the same tension. We know that Young's modulus Y is equal to stress by strain. Then stress is equal to Young's modulus into strain. Here, since the stress is common to both copper and steel wire, then stress is equal to W by A is equal to Young's modulus of copper into its strain is equal to Young's modulus of steel into its strain. Then it is equal to YC into delta LC by LC is equal to YS into delta LS by LS, which is the expression 1a, where the subscripts C and S refer to copper and stainless steel respectively. Then delta LC by delta LS is equal to YS by YC into LC by LS, which is from the expression 1a. Given that length of copper wire LC is equal to 2.2 meter, length of steel wire LS is equal to 1.6 meter, Young's modulus of copper YC is equal to 1.1 into 10 the power of 11 Newton per meter square, and Young's modulus of steel YS is equal to 2.0 into 10 the power of 11 Newton per meter square. Then delta LC by delta LS is equal to 2 into 10 the power of 11 by 1.1 into 10 the power of 11 into 2.2 divided by 1.6 is equal to 2.5. Then delta LC by delta LS is equal to 2.5, which is the expression 1. Then, what is the total elongation of the combination of the wire? It is from the question, delta LC by delta LS is equal to 0.70 millimeter is equal to 7.0 into 10 the power of minus 4 meter, which is the expression 2. Solving the expressions 1 and 2, we get delta LC is equal to 5.0 into 10 the power of minus 4 meter, and delta LS is equal to 2.0 into 10 the power of minus 4 meter. Therefore, what is the load added to this combination? It is obtained from the expression 1a. W is equal to A into YC into delta LC by LC. By substituting the values of A, YC, delta LC and LC, we get W is equal to 1.8 into 10 the power of 2 Newton. Dear students, today's homework questions are given in this slide. Please, you have to work out these question answers by today itself. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.